Hi, Gina.
Hi, I was waiting on some other link. I clearly had the wrong link.
Oh, no, I just got on.
Oh, okay.
But you're on.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Hi, Susan.
Okay, there, I'm here. Could be one of those days.
Right.
At least I'm not flat on my back anymore. That was exciting.
What?
I threw my back out and I was like, oh, it was awful. It was awful. Yesterday I couldn't even walk.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Are you
But I'm
feeling
better today.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm better. It's, you know, a leave and heating pads and that's about it. So.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I hope you feel better as the
show me video.
time.
I'm upset because I can't go horseback riding, so.
Oh. For how long?
I don't know. Probably a week, maybe more.
Do you ride?
Huh?
Do you ride?
Yeah.
Hi, Nicole. I'm just reading. Somebody just checked. Hi.
Oh, you're meeting.
I didn't mute anybody yet.
Do meetings for work first so that people don't have to freaking come into work. That's not a bad idea. Zoom. Even make it so she can show computer screens, so that everybody can see each other and chime in and talk. We don't have to stay for the nighttime one. Even Facebook.
Hi, Gold Crusher.
Like a party going on.
I know. Look at all you guys coming on.
I know.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tanya. I'll mute everybody in a minute. Everybody's unmuted unless you muted yourself. But I don't know, Gina, we can give it maybe another minute.
Okay.
Have, like a lot of people come on.
Yeah.
So Gina's going to be facilitating tonight's call.
It got more quiet when I did that.
What? Did someone say something? I don't know.
I don't think they realize they're not, like that we can hear them.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll start muting people. Look at Sally. She's outside on her patio.
I don't even see Sally. Oh, there she is.
Oh,
Do you eat ice cream?
No, I'm eating leftover birthday cake.
Oh.
Hi, Sally. Y'all can hear me if I'm supposed to be muted.
No, we're not muted yet.
Okay.
Sally, I love that it says Gold Crusher.
Yeah.
I did that a few things ago, and it's still coming up. I don't know how to change it now.
I don't even know how you guys change it.
I put my name in, and it still came up Goal Crusher.
Like when you registered for the call, like you changed it to your name.
Yeah, I
don't
put
know how
Sally
that works.
Egging, and it still says that, but that's cool.
I don't know how that works. So
Look what my friend got me. That bracelet I wanted.
what does it say?
This is PG-13.
It is.
Oh,
Nice. I love it.
I know. She got it for me for my birthday.
how thoughtful of him.
No, my girlfriend, not my husband.
Oh, I thought you said Brian.
No.
Brian,
You
girlfriend.
ready?
Yeah. So you should see a little thing on the bottom that says share.
Share.
Okay.
All right.
And then like
Share.
a thing
Google
will pop
Chrome?
up. What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Just Google. Oh, desktop.
Yeah.
Okay, share. Okay.
Okay, we can see your screen now. So I'll start muting people, but you can unmute yourself at any time. Like if you have a question at the end.
All right.
I'm gonna mute myself too, Gina, unless I'll hop on if you need me for something.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I can do this.
You got it. We can see your screen.
All right, perfect. Well, welcome everybody to the June monthly Sips and Tips. Hopefully we're gonna have a really great call. If you are new to the team or it's your first time on the team call, just so you know who your leaders are, we have our fabulous Ruby directors, Heather Kess and Nicola Fave. You have your directors, myself, Rebecca Stevenson, and Morgan Williams. And then our gorgeous team leaders, Sabrina Bratt, Kim Kramer, and Sally Egging, or Goal Crusher, if you will, as she shoves birthday cake in her face. I love you. You can come to any of us for anything you need. We are here for the entire team, whether we are your upline or not. That is the beauty of Grape Expectations and Northern Grapes. So welcome to all new wine guides, or those that is your first time here. We are so happy to have you. I'm going to do the grape of the month, and then I'm going to introduce our special guest speaker, and we'll get the call going. So our grape of the month is somebody, I can't even read this slide because, oh, there, I got rid of all the pictures. Somebody who has a great personality, responsible, a team player, has a positive attitude, and is empowering. This award will be decided by a committee of team leaders and above on Grape Expectations. Monthly suggestions will be given, and a committee decision will be made before the team call. The monthly award will be based not only on outstanding performance, but also the execution of these 5 traits that I just said that make an outstanding wine guide. So without further ado, our grape of the month is, why isn't my screen working? Oh, there we go, sorry. I'm gonna butcher this name already. Tanya Lemzizek. Did I say that right? Anybody?
Tanya, how do you say your last name, Tanya? Oh,
Hang on, I'm working on it. Okay, there we go. Hi. Oh my gosh, me? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you.
congratulations.
How do you
My
say your
last
last
name
name?
is Lemazak. It's a lot easier than it looks.
Lemazak.
Okay,
That's it,
I didn't
yay!
know either. So congratulations.
Yes.
Thank
Tanya
you.
joined in February of this year. She hit the ground running when she first joined. She's met all 3 fast starts in her very short period of time, has consistent PV at each event, continuously is getting bookings, and even secured rewind subscriptions at most of her tastings. She is very active on the Grape Expectations team page, always encouraging and congratulating other wine guides, and is an absolute pleasure to work with. Congratulations, Tanya, for being June's Grape of the Month. We are very excited that to have you on our team, and we hope that you are loving the business as much as all of us love the business.
Thank you so much, guys.
You're so welcome. And now we are going to have the one and only fabulous Susan McDonald come on and talk to us about Skype tastings. They are a great way to get your friends and family that are not local to you involved in supporting your business. But there are a lot of little things to think about in order to pull off a successful Skype tasting. So Susan has had much success at it, and she is going to share everything that she does. So that way we can do it.
No pressure.
No pressure. So are you going to share your screen? Do I have to do something here?
I don't know. Let me try sharing mine. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, you should see it like what I told Gina. Gina,
Oh, it says I can't share while the other participants are sharing.
Stop share. Okay, I stopped.
Okay, hang on.
And now you should see the same thing that I said earlier, like at the bottom, it's just say share.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Okay, hang on. Sorry for my very messy desktop. Hang on. Hang on. Look at, can you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so ready, steady, go. It's Monday night. Let's learn some stuff. Here, I'm gonna hide myself. Oh no, you guys can't see me, right?
We can still see you like on the corner. I mean, if you want to stop your video, you can. But we can see everybody, I think.
There, I'm hiding, just in case I like do something weird. All right, so guys, you hear about Skype tastings. They're really, really great. I got turned on to them by Elaine Doyle Gillespie because she does them all the time, and I was like, what's up with that? So, maybe you're light on tastings one month. We all have those friends from far away who say, oh, I would love to do a tasting, but I can't. I wish you lived closer, right? So now you have a way to pin them down and you can make them do it. There's like, maybe you need to get to Lux. And my very favorite reason to do these is because I don't have to leave the house and I can do tastings in my underwear. So how do you do it? It's pretty, hang on, let me go over. Okay. So, I forgot I had this all set up. Good Lord. Anyway, you could also team build across the country. I have not picked anybody up yet, but I expect that I will one of these days. So, how do you do a wine tasting on Skype? How do you do it? Carefully. So it's really pretty much the same as any other tasting. The main difference is choosing your host. You want to be careful about it. I rarely do a Skype tasting with someone I don't know well. I do them for friends who don't live nearby that want to support me, and I have to ask. They don't fall from trees. I'm on social media. I reach out directly to all those people that say, oh, I'd host if I lived near you. If I want them to host, I say, hey, why don't you do a Skype tasting? And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. So once you have your host, you have to work closely with them. And again, it's got to be someone you trust. It's got to be someone who you will partner with. If somebody's flighty or they're not really that invested, it's not going to go well. So you booked one. Now what are you going to do? All right. Yay, we booked a tasting. Treat it like a regular tasting. That's the first thing. You're going to start your host coaching. You're going to set up your event on Facebook. You're going to send your what to expect email to your host. I don't know what you guys send. I follow Lori Stryker rules and send what she tells me to send. But the host coaching is so important. And for a Skype tasting, it is imperative. You can't do this without really being in touch with the host. After I send a what to expect email, I send a cheers to the host email a week later. It's a little bit repetitive, but I feel particularly with Skype tastings that you really have to lay things out. I go through attaching the responsible hosting letter. I ask her to mail it back or scan it and email it to me, however it goes. But you follow all the rules just like you always do. You set up your Facebook event. You make her a host, or you invite people, all that same stuff. There's nothing different. The only difference is how you do, like, that you're not physically in the room. I like to tell people I will be a disembodied head on their television. And I don't know if it's funny or not, but they seem to think so. Who knows? So before the tasting, 2 weeks before, minimum, order your tasting set. You want to make sure that you have time time for it to get there, time to correct any issues that may come up. We all know that every once in a while UPS breaks something, sends it back. You want to make sure you give yourself enough time to correct that. Keep in mind, since you're just sending a single tasting set, you are going to have to pay shipping on it. You can't do a double tasting set, or the 2 tasting sets and split where they ship. So keep that in mind. Once the tasting set has shipped, then you're going to send an email to the host, and you're going to include the tracking number and some tips. I have an email that I send, and I will upload that to the files for you. I'll also, if you guys don't have the what to expect email, I'll throw that up there too. In a separate email, I send info about the pairings. I give them the direct link to their Smology page. I have to update what I send them because now that we have the direct link and everything, it's a little bit different. But you also want to send what I'm calling a tasting packet to the host. That's going to include ITOs, and we'll talk about that in a minute, wine tasting guides, host rewards, guest rewards, 2 or 3 copies of the full inventory and accessories, a rewind flyer, a help wanted flyer, may we suggest. I send enough for each guest except the full inventory and accessories. I just print out 3 copies and I staple them together, and then everybody can share them. I'm not sending that much in the mail. But that all goes via priority mail. The host gets it in like 3 days, 2 or 3 days. The post office always says 2 days, but it's 3. So 3 days before the tasting, I do a dry run with the host. This is where we're making sure she can plug her laptop into her TV, that the connection is good, and we can talk about the room setup. It's like I can see what the room is and help her decide what the best placement is for everybody. I make sure she's got a place for guests to come and place the orders afterwards, because they're going to take me off the TV and put me on the dining room table. So that just sounds so strange, but that's what's going to happen. So you want to make sure at this point that the host has enough glasses. Make sure the host knows that they've got to buy the Skittles. They got to have the lemon and the grapes, the crackers, all that stuff. Just to make sure that it runs smoothly. Because you're really going to partner with, again, you partner with your host. You've got to be in touch with them. You got to make sure that they really understand, because you really have to kind of lead them through the tasting. So it's tasting time. All right. So set up with the host. I give it 45 minutes. Some people do 30. I really think minimum is 30. 45 is good, just in case things get screwed up. You have enough time before, some guests actually do get there early. So we like to make sure that they're on top of things. So go over any last minute questions with the host. Make sure she understands the concept of the 2-fingered pour. I'm going to take I don't know if you guys are all familiar with the 2-finger pour, but when you don't have a way to measure the pour, because she's going to be using her own glasses and she's probably not going to get one of those 1-ounce pour things. So you take your glass, I have water, and it's much more than 2 fingers, but It is just water, so it's okay. So a 2-finger pour is this. So you just hold it up to the bowl of the glass and you say, you know, this is what a 2-finger pour is. And that's how much wine you want to pour in everybody's glass. And just make sure they understand that, because people will be like filling up the glasses, and that's not really going to work. They're going to run out of wine. So, let me see. Sorry. So the host should bring each guest to the computer to meet you, okay? You want to take a minute, talk to them. Oh, what's your favorite wine? What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And Skype has a feature where they have a chat feature. You can actually have everyone type in their information, their name, their address, all that stuff. And then you can just transfer that and type it into the event in the tasting room. Okay, that's the next thing that you have to remember. You cannot do your orders and put the information in Awesome. Can't be in Awesome. You have to do it in your tasting room. Awesome requires a signature on the screen, and you can't sit there signing everybody's name on Awesome. That would be frowned upon. So when you conduct the wine tasting, you're pretty much doing it the way you always do. I recommend placing your laptop on a table and sitting in front of it to do the tasting. Don't try to stand. It really doesn't work well. You're not going to fit. It looks weird. Ask me how I know, because I tried and it looked stupid. So I didn't do it. Anyway, so while you're doing the tasting, 2 bottles, that's all you need on your end. You just have 2 bottles open. A red and a white. If they happen to be the ones that are being served at the tasting, fine. If not, doesn't matter. No one's going to know. Doesn't even have to be a traveling vineyard wine. But I didn't say that. Whatever you have on hand, red or white, is fine. So you want to give the host cues for the next pairing. So example, it's going to be like, Sally, we're going to try the next wine. Bring the mac and cheese out. Bring the watermelon salad. Whatever it is, you want to coax her along. You can't really demonstrate the accessories, but I hold them up and I talk about them. You know, you can't demonstrate the aerator, unfortunately. So we don't go through the whole aerating the wines. You could talk about it, but it's not going to be terribly effective. So once you get to checkout, again, have the host bring each guest to you, because they can easily walk out. So you're relying on the host to corral everybody. They're going to be there to keep things calm, to keep, redirect people to you. But at checkout, super important. They're going to be the ones being like, Sally, come on over and see Susan. Mary, come on over and see Susan, blah, blah, blah. Again, enter your orders through your tasting room, not Awesome. The host should also make sure that the guest completes and signs the ITOs, all right? You need those ITOs. The host is going to send them back to you, okay? Because you need that signature. You need that for your order. That's really, really important. While you're taking orders, the guests can just read their credit card number to you. They can hold it up, but they can't do any checks at all when you're doing a Skype tasting. And absolutely do not forget to ask them if they would like to host or if they would like more info on the opportunity. Don't miss out on that, because it's so important. You can't assume that people aren't going to do it just because they're far away. Maybe they will. So that's kind of my overview of what a Skype tasting is. Again, I want to give a shout out to Elaine Doyle Gillespie, because she's the one from whom I learned how to do this, and a lot of the tips and tricks I shared, I learned from her. So I want to be clear and upfront about that. So that's pretty much what I've got. If you have questions, because I feel like I kind of did like a overview, but I didn't get too into the nuts and bolts because I know we have limited time. So if anybody wants to ask me questions here, I know we can do that. You can also email me, or if we're not Facebook friends, you can Facebook friend me, and you'll see like lots of posts about goats and cats, and it'll be fun. So does anybody have questions? Oh my God, the silence is deafening.
I thought I read somewhere the other day that if you did like an online party, you don't get credit for a wine tasting for the sales. Is that true?
That is if you do a Facebook party where you're not doing wine, because you're actually sending a tasting set to that host.
Oh, okay.
So it counts as a full tasting. If you do like a virtual, like a Facebook party,
yeah,
and that's all it is on Facebook, and nobody's tasting wine, then you don't get a tasting set.
Gotcha. Right. But you would for this then, because you're sending a tasting set.
Yeah, because you're actually using a tasting set.
But Tanya, you make commission on everything.
Right. But I always want to make sure I make enough to make a tasting set for my next event. So.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Erica has a question. She says, what do you find is the typical outcome of these Skype tastings? So like, how many guests do you get? What are your sales like?
I've done several. They've been anywhere from $300 to $1,200.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of all over the place. The first one I did was about $300, and that was a friend offered to host down. She lived down in Savannah at the time, and I said, I really want to try doing a Skype tasting. She said, you know what, I'll host it for you, and you can practice on me. So I said, oh, all right, great. So we did. So she had 5 or 6 people over, and it was pretty loose, and they all knew I was practicing, so it worked out pretty well. But they all bought, and that got me on my way. And then I have a good friend who's been a customer in the past. Definitely one of those people that said, oh, if you ever get down here, please, I'd love to host a tasting. And it's just never worked out. So she had about 12 or 13 people at her tasting. And that was the one that was $1,200. She listened to me about invite people that like wine, and she was like, I sold like 3 rewines, and people were going crazy. It was one of the best tastings I ever had. One of the things that and then in between, they usually average about what you average in a live tasting, between like generally between $400 and $600. They're, that $1,200, that was kind of an anomaly. I was happy to have it, but I wouldn't expect that every time. I would expect it more between, say between $300 and $600. I think is a fair range.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you can hear me, this is Christy. Hi, how are you? I'm new to Sally's team. Brand new. I just did my unboxing video today. So I'm excited about that. Sally was surprised it came so quickly. I mean, I joined last Wednesday night right after the tasting conference calls or webinar. So I got that. My wine's supposed to be here tomorrow, so I'm like super, super, super excited. But what I'm looking to do, I've never personally used Skype, so I'm looking to see like if I do this, like, because they know I can do live video over Facebook and in an event, which I did earlier just to test it out and see how it worked. So I would probably use it through Facebook as my app rather than Skype. But I'm also thinking that because I have so many out-of-town friends and family that are in states that can receive like rewind subscriptions and things of that nature, of how to translate this whole thing to that. Obviously, I couldn't do if I don't have a host selected for it. Like I'm thinking of doing like mystery hosts and stuff like that, like a monthly type thing. So
okay, so are you looking at that as like a Facebook event as opposed to a live event?
A Facebook live event, we'll put it that way.
Okay, so that's a little different than this.
Okay.
the Facebook, like a Facebook Live event, you're probably not going to be using a tasting set. That's more like a virtual event. I mean, you could probably do this sort of thing over Facebook. I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
But
well, not to interrupt, but you could go into, if somebody didn't have Skype, you could go into Facebook Messenger, and it's free to video chat through Facebook Messenger.
Oh yeah.
Right. You could also do it with Zoom.
Right, or Zoom.
There's a lot of different ways you could do it. Skype is just like what I do. You know, that's it. But you're not limited. Like you could choose like your video conferencing platform of choice.
Okay.
So you can, but just like there's the difference between a Skype a Skype tasting for this purpose and like a Facebook Live or a Facebook virtual tasting is that one, you're actually using a tasting set and you're really doing a wine tasting. You're just doing it like I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, here's how you taste your wine. Here's how you do this. You sniff it, all that. So that's, and the guest, it's not so much, the guests actually have the wine to drink. So that's what this is. But then you could, again, you can do a Facebook event and nobody tastes any wine at all. And you're up there on doing videos and lives and talking to everybody and getting everybody excited. So it just depends on what you want to do. I don't know if that helped.
No, that absolutely very much helped me because I'm just trying to figure out some ways I can grow my business and get things going. I mean, I do have both of my dad's sisters are super into wine and they live in Washington State and Oregon respectively. So, and they go to all the wineries and everything out there. So if I can either get one of them signed up or them to do something in their home, invite their friends over and stuff like that, I'm definitely looking to do that. Plus, I have a few people, everybody I'm speaking to right now, I'm just letting them know about what I'm doing and so I'm trying to get a buzz going. I did create my Facebook page today for my business and different things like that. So, and I did get a little bit of excitement for my unboxing video because everybody's like, oh, what's Christy doing today? So,
Good. Sounds like you're on your way.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get something.
Sounds like you're on your way for sure.
But I'm thinking I may just do next week on Wednesday. I just do like a little live Facebook event from my Facebook page and just show off some of the accessories that I received in my kit today and talk about some of the wines that I receive in my kit, which my wine should be here tomorrow. So I'm super excited for that. And stuff like that. So at least to try to get a buzz and see if I can get people, to book parties or at least get some rewind subscriptions.
Yeah. If you go live and show off some accessories to get people excited, you can even say, if you book off this live event, comment or message me to book your free tasting, I'll bring one of your food pairings.
Oh, that's an awesome idea. I love that.
Yeah, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go pick up brownies or cream puffs or a cool cheese or something.
Right.
But people love free. So, we can't give away our stuff, but you can tell them that you'll bring a pairing or something like that.
Okay. Thank you. I'm super excited. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're excited to have you. Are there any other questions for Susan?
Me, if anybody else didn't have any yet.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Gina.
So have you ever had a Skype tasting where you know more than one person in the area? So you try and book two so you can ship two tasting sets and have them like meet up.
Yeah, no, I never have, but that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, or or like get a booking before the event happens. Like, hey, if you get a booking before the event happens, I'll send you a prize.
That's a great idea.
Because then you can send 2 tasting sets. You gotta tell her she has to give it to the other host.
Right.
That booking, like there has to be like you said, extensive coaching for the other host too.
Right.
But it might be a way to save on shipping and get another booking. So like if you spend $12.95 or $15.95 on say a Rachel Hollis book for the host, even though you would have spent that on shipping, now you have another booking.
Right. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And one thing that I meant to touch on, and I didn't, but this kind of brings that to mind, is, when I was talking about, you really want to trust who you're sending a tasting set to, because you don't want them to drink it.
Yes.
So that's why I'm particular about it. And I won't, I haven't actually had someone book another Skype tasting off a Skype tasting as of yet. And I'm not necessarily unhappy about that because I don't know that I know these people well enough that I feel like I would do that.
Do you think
I think Elaine lost 1 tasting set. That's the only, she does them all the time. And I think she's only lost 1 set.
I wonder if the company could put into place a security feature where if we sent them the tasting set and they drank it, their credit card was charged.
Right.
For the wine. Like if you drink the wine and don't have a tasting, I mean, it's one thing to have a bad tasting. We all have them.
Right. That's different.
But if they actually drink the wine and don't have this wine for the tasting or don't do the tasting and keep the wine, if there's a way to charge them.
Right. That's that might be something to look into. I like that because it's, it is a risk. It's not a big risk, but sometimes somebody's not who you think they are.
Right. Right. And then 5 bottles of wine show up at their doorstep and they had a bad day.
Well, it could happen. Or they're thinking, well, I could drink it and then buy more, but they don't realize they don't have time to buy more. Or,
right.
Any number of things. But I mean, it's, I haven't had the issue, but that's because I'm careful about it and about who I choose and who I want to have do.
Well, and ultimately I would say host coaching couldn't be more important than it is on a Skype call.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it pays off, it's like, so the people I find, sometimes the people are can be rowdy, but I find that more often than not, they're more attentive. But I also talk to the host about, it's the host's job to kind of round them up.
Right.
If they're out of line. I had one host and she said, and people were going crazy. And she said, she put her hand up and she goes, if the hand goes up, you shut up. It was hilarious.
That was going to be my question to you, Susan, about crowd control. But that's good that your host seems to be on your side. And plus they want to be respectful of your time because they know you most of the time.
Right. Right. It's definitely a partner thing. And you have to say, I need you to do crowd control for me because I can't really do it from far away. It's, it's even, you know how it is. Sometimes people get rowdy and sometimes they get rowdy and I'm like, have a good time. Just nice. At the end. It's okay. So, but most of the time, the hosts, when you coach them well and give them that information, explain what's going on, they're more than happy to help. They want it to be a good party. So,
right.
Again, it's like being a partner with your host is really key. I mean, it's always key, but with Skype, it's particularly so.
I think I had another question, but I don't remember what it is right now.
All right. Well,
if I think of it, I'll say it.
Email her.
I think you already addressed it, and that's why. I don't know.
Well, if it pops up, You know where I am.
Yeah.
We know where you are, Susan.
That's right. Yeah, I know. You guys know. You guys know.
All right. Well, that is our call tonight. If we don't have anything else, everybody, please take down Susan's email or Facebook friend request her. That way, if you do have questions, because in 2 months you book the Skype tasting and you want to go back and ask her, she is definitely a fabulous resource for our team. Congratulations again to Tanya, Grape of the Month. That's so exciting. And we will see you guys hopefully in Vegas next month. We won't see Heather, but she'll be busy having a baby.
I know. I won't be there either. I'm sorry.
You're not going?
No. Joanne will be there.
I'm not going either, so if you need help with the baby, let me know.
I know. I feel it's my first one that I'm not going to, but.
Yeah, I almost didn't go.
I miss you, Romy.
Morgan's going. I'm just looking on. Gretchen's going. Sally's going. Sorry if I'm missing anybody. I'm just trying to block memory.
Jennifer said she's going.
Oh, Jennifer, way to go. She's going.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Erica's going.
Erica's going.
Good.
I'm going.
So most of you are going. My C-section was actually supposed to be the July 19th, which was the Friday, but they just changed it to the 22nd, I think, because my doctor was on vacation.
Oh,
Jay's
wow.
going.
But I'm hoping he comes before that because it's getting a little rough.
Aw.
Oh, I also wanted to add, not about harvest, but the recording to the call will be posted tomorrow evening.
Thank you.
So if anybody wants to listen again, or your team members didn't get to come on, or you have a wine guide friend that didn't get to listen, I will post it on Grape Expectations, and then Morgan or Gina or somebody will probably post it on Northern Grapes page. And then I also keep all the recordings on a file, like a document on the Grape Expectations page. So that's where it will be.
Cool.
All
right.
Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you, Susan.
Thanks
It was helpful. I don't know.
No, definitely was.
Okay.
It seems like
yes, no, it was great. I still haven't had the balls to do one, but I'm gonna.
Thanks,
You should
Susan.
totally do it. Everyone should do it because you know what? You do one and then you're going to be like, this is like the greatest thing ever because you're just like done.
Well, I love how you like laid out like all the steps because I'm like I need a process. So like every time I thought of it, it's just like everything was like overloaded, and I'm like, I don't even know how to do this because I need a process for everything. So you really helped make that process for me.
Well, I'm happy I could.
So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, everyone.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And Susan. Bye.
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 And Heather, I just hang up, right?
Yeah, I'm going to end it right now, and then I'll end it for all.